Never seen an athlete as confident and as focused on not only winning but knocking his opponent out. You know, he predicts the second of the round, you know, and he pretty much gets it just right. He reminds me really of a prime Naseem Hamed. I remember when Naseem Hamed broke on the scene, he really shook up the establishment. He was saying crazy things, making bold statements, making bold predictions, and they all came true. He's a serious handful. And I think he's got that crazy fitness as well. I can never imagine him getting tired. He's got this crazy intensity, this speed and athleticism and punch power. So, you know, whatever happens in the fight, he's always one punch away from knocking somebody out. And that for me is an exciting point, and that's for me somebody I'll support.
Yeah, Conor is one of the greatest athletes probably of all times, you know, so he's has the right combination of the mind and the body and the talent. He just is, the two are connected so well with him, which I think is so important in athletic, that you believe 100% in your victory. And because when you believe it, when you see it, believe it, achieve it. That's the way it goes. And so with him, you can see that. So he's a great, great athlete. He's also a fun guy to hang out with. And he is very good with improvisation. And just, you know, he reminds me a little bit of the way I always was when I kind of grew up in bodybuilding. And, you know, the only way you get noticed is if you say outrageous things. And so he does that to get noticed. And because of that, because he is a great fighter, and because of his personality, he now is becoming like the hottest ticket. I mean, his fight will be sold out everywhere, and he will have the highest viewership.
Well, maybe he's going to be a big movie star like yourself someday.
I hope so. I think any athlete should always try to go and think about beyond the athletic career, because the athletic career only goes so far. And you can sometimes push it into the 30s, or maybe get close to 40 or whatever it is. But from then on, he really should start switching, even if it is within your own sport. If he wants to become a promoter, or if he wants to become an actor, or a commentator of the thing, or a politician, or running a famous charity in the world that is his passion or whatever it is. So I think it's great to branch out.
And I know you're a big UFC guy. I know Dana White's a friend of yours. We're big UFC guys. Obviously, you must have heard of Conor McGregor. He's got Aldo now, UFC 189 in July.
Yeah.
I know he's in camp there over in Vegas at the moment. I don't want to put you in the position to say who you got with Conor and Aldo, but what do you think of Conor, and what do you think of this hype that's just built up behind him that he's backing up in the cage?
Well, I got to tell you, so we'll back up just a little bit. So you mentioned Dana, who I'm very good friends with. And I'll show you how this ties into social media. I was at a fight, I can't remember where it was, and we were backstage and we were just hanging out before the fight. And he was the one, Dana White, of all the people in my life, who said, you have got to get into social media. And I said, I don't know, D, it's not for me. He's like, I'm telling you, you got to get into it. For your business, you got to get into it. So for the business part, I love it. But since then, I mean, the connection with the fans that it's given me has just been unreal. Okay, there's that part about it. Because I always have to give him credit for that. So with Conor, I love that guy. I love the guy. I love that guy. I love Aldo too, by the way. You know, I respect these fighters so incredibly much, and I love UFC, and I think it's going to be an amazing fight. And I got to tell you this, is that look, everyone has a punching chance, right? And Conor ain't no joke. I mean, he's a bad dude, and Aldo is a bad dude. So you're gonna have two bad dudes, basically, who are gonna go at it. What I love about Conor is the same thing, by the way, I love about Aldo. So Aldo, there's a quiet confidence, and in Conor, the confidence is not quiet, by the way. And it reminds me of how I was in the WWE, man. Yeah, where I was bold and talking shit, and and there was nothing that I wouldn't say to try and obviously in the WWE, it's a work, and it's not real, and we knew who was gonna win and lose, but I would do everything I could just in terms of what could I do to create interest. And Conor's a smart guy like that. He creates great interest, but it's not, by the way, Bullshit. I mean,
He backs it up.
Yes,
Yeah.
he backs it up. That's what I'm saying. So I think the fight is going to be incredible. And it's always, you know, look, in the fight game, I'm a fan of boxing. I'm a fan of the UFC. And when someone has a mental edge, and at times I feel like I have seen, we've all seen that, by the way, like Conor get under Aldo's skin, it becomes an edge. It becomes an edge, man. Yeah. Plus he looks good in a vest, Conor does. He's biting my style. Or I'm biting his, I think.
Dwayne, thank you so much for your time. It's awesome to see you.
A guy like McGregor, he's got that type of thing. He's hungry, it's new for him. He appreciates the money with a big smile. He's saying it out loud, and now he's living a very great adventure. This is the time where you go from nothing to being bored. So I'm advising him to enjoy every second of the day. That's the time. And it's gonna be hard to beat him because he's fighting with this, plus his techniques and his height, plus he's got the Irish people behind him, and he create a connection, a soul connection between him and the audience on his early fight, and he wants to be loved.
Do you see Conor McGregor with that personality he has and everything going for him? Do you see him making his way? Does he have what it takes in your mind as a raw actor to go into film? Do you see that possibility?
Yeah, McGregor is going to be always a moving step forward.
Sure.
He likes to elevate himself into fighting, philosophy, he's reading book, he's trying to learn his way. He's not stupid, he's listening, he has to do what he has to do. And he's a good guy, he loves people. But him being a movie star, he's really a true warrior. And he'll make a film, or 2 or 3 films for sure, because he wants to touch everything. But in his heart, he's a true warrior. And McGregor, for example, is a great fighter if he can use his legs as good as his fist. Because what he has, what not too many people have, it's the eye. Like Emelianenko was not really in shape, out of shape, but his eye, he knew one. So Fedor. I mean, so he's got that. But what McGregor has, he's hungry and he's training every day. And after this fight, I would love to spend some time with him to elevate the knee even better and not to make mistake, because turning around like that is fantastic. He's got the speed, but a guy like Aldo can go inside him. That's dangerous.
It sounds like you're a big Conor McGregor fan. Do you expect him to beat Jose Aldo?
To be honest with you, I love McGregor and I love Aldo. Those two guys, like you've got a Ferrari, Lamborghini. It's not the same. I know Mr. Gregor, with different types of anatomy. But you've got the guys from the street. He's strong. He's all over the place. He's like not on a bad way. Like a monkey. You know, if I fight you, bam, bam, he's all over the place. You know, to move, he's fast. He go forward. He's imprévisible. And McGregor has one thing that nobody has in his division. I think he can go backwards at the same time he's hitting. And when the guy run at him, and he can go backwards and and he's hitting the guy, it's very dangerous. So he's got the length to go forward, and he's got the technique to go backward.
Before any of this, I have been one of the most hardcore MMA fans ever. I mean, I watched it from the very beginning. I mean, back to like Butterbean days, okay? So yes, you know, Dan Fry, I am a huge fan. And, you know, I was a big Tito Ortiz fan. I just loved the whole idea of his craziness, of how he would really like talk smack, and I have respect for that.
Right.
That's why I'm such a big fan of Conor McGregor now. I'm obsessed with him.
Right. So any predictions then for his fight against Aldo?
Well, I think that he's going to take it to him. Obviously, you know, I mean, he has the heart of a lion, and he's really unstoppable. It's going to be a fantastic fight. I think that Aldo, he's, you know, I mean, obviously he's well-rounded, he's incredibly capable, but Conor has something to prove. He has a chip on his shoulder, and people like that are very dangerous.